Today we are going to start using a microscope in the biology lab. This is going to be your introduction to microscopy. I am going to show you with the help of my lab assistants how to use a microscope, how to focus a slide, and how to put the microscope back. There's a wrong way and a right way of taking the microscope out of the microscope cabinet. Taking it to your desk is important, the way you transport it to your desk. Then I'm going to show you how to focus a slide on the microscope in the proper way. Afterwards, how to clean your microscope, and you have to do that every time you use the microscope. And then how to put your microscope back into the microscope cabinet. Here in the back of the lab, we have the microscope cabinet. We usually keep it closed. During lab, we can open it to remove the microscopes. You can see here we have microscopes on shelves numbered from 1 to 24. We have compound light microscopes, and then from A up to J we have dissecting microscopes, also called stereo microscopes. In biology lab right now, at the start of the microscopy section, you're going to focus on working with compound light microscopes. And then when we do dissections, you will also be using dissecting microscopes. So when you need to remove a microscope from the cabinet, this is probably the most important step. These microscopes are very expensive and they can easily break. So when you remove one, make sure that you actually take them by the arm up here with one hand, and then put the other hand under the base like this and gently slide it out of the cabinet. You have to carry it level to the desk where you're going to work, and please do not remove your hand from the base. They are quite heavy and you can easily drop them. Also, the reason we need to keep them level is that the eyepieces and the lenses may fall out if you tilt them. So you have to keep them level as you transport them to your workbench. So as you are carrying your microscope to your workspace, gently put it down on the bench without bumping it, because the lenses can damage. When it is on the bench, take off the dust cover, fold it so that you can put it into your cubby below your desk. Then you need to take the power cord, gently unravel it without damaging any of the oculars, and plug it into the socket. At this stage, your microscope should not be on. We only switch the microscope on when we have a slide to work with. So we need to get a slide to work with our microscope that we can focus. I want to show you where the slides are located in the biology lab. Here we have two slide cabinets with some slide boxes on top of them. Usually in biology lab, the lab assistants and the instructor will remove the slides from the cabinets for you. For instance, today we're going to be using some slides from slide boxes, and they've already been removed for you. Some of the other labs, we are actually going to remove slides from the trays, and they have all been numbered. There's a specific system. We use a color system. So there is one spot that a slide actually needs to go back to, and the lab assistants usually help with replacing the slides after you have used them. If you're not sure where the slides should go, please do not put them anywhere, but ask for assistance. Now we have a slide that we want to focus on the microscope, but first of all we need to make sure that we can see properly through this microscope. For that purpose, we have special microscope lens wipes in the cubbies below your workspaces. We also have on this shelf scope cleaner in bottles, or one of the bottles is called lens cleaner. You can bring that to your workspace. You can spritz a little bit of this onto the lens paper, and first of all gently wipe the top eyepieces or the oculars with this lens cleaner in circular, gentle circular motions. You may also take this lens wipe and gently wipe the 100 times objective, the 400 times objective, and also the 1000 times objective. Don't push too hard because you can actually scrape and damage the lenses. You do not have to clean the 4 times objective. It's an open objective, and if you reach in too far you might damage the lens. That one usually is cleaned by a professional microscope cleaner. So rotate the 4 times objective or the 40 times magnification back to the center of the microscope and leave it like that. You are going to take your slide next. These slides are all made of glass, so they can break. It's important that you be gentle with them. Gently place them on the microscope stage with the clamp. Remove the clamp to the side and then place it back gently without chipping the glass. Next, you have to switch on your microscope. Most of our microscopes have an on switch to the side of the microscope, which you have to switch on. It also has a light wheel. You'll see as we are increasing the light beam shining through here to the bottom of the specimen becomes brighter. We do not usually start with full light or brightness. You can turn it to about halfway. In that way you spare the length of the bulb. Next, you need to use the rotating knob to move the slide to the center of your objective without even beginning the focus process. You'll see here to the side of the microscope 2 wheels with which you can slide left or right. You can also slide up and down, or towards you or away from you. So position it more or less in the middle with these 2 knobs, and it's a good idea to practice the movement just like this without trying to focus the specimen on the slide. After that, you have to get accustomed to using the oculars, which you will be using to look through with your eyes, and you can actually set the distance between the oculars by moving them up and down. All of us have different spaces between our eyes, and it does need adjustment. So you have to move the oculars apart until you see only one circle, one view or one field in front of you. It shouldn't overlap and you shouldn't see any black areas. When you only see that one circle, you should see something through the viewer or the objectives. It might not be in focus. So the next step would be to focus the slide that you are looking at. First of all, position the specimen on the slide in the middle by using the rotating knobs to the side of the microscope. When you can see it, you can focus it. You start with the large focus knobs. Those are the big round knobs on both sides of your microscope arm, and you are going to focus up and down until you have that as best in focus as it can be for your eyes. After that, you are going to move to the fine focus knob, the small wheels over here, and you are going to focus up and down for your eyes until you have the middle or the center of the specimen in focus. Next is a very important step. For you to be able to go up in magnification to the next lens, you rotate to the 10 times objective or 100 times magnification, and then you only focus with a fine knob. You never use the big focus knob again. Why? Well, if you use this big focus knob, you will change the focus of the specimen so much that it will go out of focus completely. You are only going to work with fine focus now. So again, by looking through the objectives, fine focus for your eyes. After that, you can again enlarge, go up in magnification to the 40 times objective or the 400 magnification, and again only fine focus. Now at this stage you will notice that the light is not quite sufficient, and you would have to increase the light going through the specimen. So you can turn up the light almost all the way up and then focus again. For the purpose of biology labs, you will not really use the 100 objective or the 1000 magnification. This is an oil immersion lens. You have to use oil with this lens, and when we need to use that, we will do a special microscope demonstration on how to use the 100 times magnification. So for now, if you have your specimen focused on the 400 times magnification, that is sufficient. There is one other thing that you might want to do, and that is to increase the contrast of your specimen. You will see down below your microscope there is a diaphragm condenser area with a little lever here that you can move left and right. And you can move this all the way left, all the way right, while looking through your microscope, and actually increase the contrast of the specimen you are viewing. So that would be the second step you can use after you have fully focused your specimen on the slide. When you are done viewing your slide and you need to take it off the stage and also put away your microscope, you need to do it in a special order. Don't just pull out the slide. First of all, turn down the light wheel all the way and then switch off the microscope. Next, you need to rotate the lenses so that the smallest lens or objective, which is 4 times, is into field of view there or straight in the middle of your microscope. Open the clamp on the stage and remove the slide gently. This slide will be placed back where you find it, in the slide cabinet or on your workbench. Then you may unplug your microscope. Before covering it up and putting it away, please take a new lens paper with some lens cleaner. Again, clean the objectives and the oculars gently. And cover your microscope with its dust cover. You can just put the cord around the top of the microscope and the wheels like this. Please don't put the cord of the microscope here under the stage where the condenser is. You might damage it over there if you do that. Cover it up. And now you are ready to carry your microscope back to the cabinet. So remember to carry your microscope level with both hands. You need to check the number on your microscope. This is number 12. It needs to go back in its spot. There will be a number 12 on the shelf. You have to gently put it back on the shelf. Make sure you slide the microscope all the way back so that the microscope is not too close to the edge of the shelf. So there you go. Now you know how to use a microscope. It is going to require a lot of practice on your behalf to use the microscope properly. Please pay attention and perform these important instructions that I tried to explain and to show to you. They really are foundational to good microscope use in all your upper level classes. And if you learn how to use a microscope properly now, you will not struggle later on in those classes. Thank you.